Florida Senator Bill Nelson joins us now live from Capitol Hill. Senator, there is never enough good news. We've got a little bit of a fix over the last couple of days, but we know that the oil is still spilling out from all of the briefings. Tell us the latest that you're being told.
Well, Andrea, fortunately, the winds have kept most of it still off the shore, although over the next 72 hours it's moving in the direction of the shore. And you're exactly right. They don't have enough skimmers out there 25 miles out to try to suck up the oil to keep it from getting to shore, and especially to keep it from getting into the wetlands. The good news is that it's getting weatherized when it travels that far to the Florida beaches, so it's going to be in these tar mats or tar balls, and when they get on the beach, we can clean that up. The big thing is, of course, if this thing keeps gushing all summer, then you're talking about so much oil out there. This is all hands on deck kind of thing.
Well, the prognosis from Thad Allen at his morning briefing today, let's listen to a bit of what he had to say, because every indication from the lead man, from Admiral Thad Allen, is that it is going to continue gushing all summer. Let's watch.
Dealing with the oil spill on the surface is going to go on for a couple of months. After that, it'll be taken care of. I agree with you. Long-term issues of restoring the environment and the habitats and stuff will be years.
Senator, what can the military do? I know you've been calling on the Defense Department from the military to get more involved.
Andrea, I think the Coast Guard is doing everything that they can right now. But if this thing goes on for several months, there's going to be so much oil out there, the Coast Guard is going to be overwhelmed. And everybody's going to be overwhelmed. And what you're going to have to do is to turn to the best command and control organization that can organize big kind of emergencies, and that's the Pentagon. And we've done it before many times. Now, I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope it, get it cut off. Andrea, we're looking into something new right now, that there's reports of oil that's seeping up from the seabed, which would indicate, if that's true, that the well casing itself is actually pierced underneath the seabed. So, the problems could be just enormous with what we're facing.
Now, let me understand better what you're saying, because if it is true that it's coming up from the seabed, then even the relief well won't be the final solution to cap this thing. That means that we've got oil gushing up at disparate places along the ocean floor.
That is possible unless you get the plug down low enough below where the pipe would be breached.
We've got a lot of politics going on, obviously. None of this happens in a vacuum. There are new Washington Post poll numbers out now. They've just been handed to me. 69% of those questioned now say that the government has done a not-so-good or a poor job handling the spill. More polled, 81% give low marks, of course, to BP. That is fairly predictable. How would you grade the Obama White House and also BP right now?
I think the president is doing what he can in an impossible situation, but this thing going on, it's going to change our way of life. The administration's got to do better because you're about to take a whole culture along the Gulf and turn it on its head. And so we just simply have to do better.
I have to ask you what you think of Haley Barbour, the Mississippi governor, who was on Fox News Sunday and basically said it's the news media's fault for publicizing or over-publicizing the potential damage to the shore because it's hurting the tourism industry. Let's watch.
We have had virtually no oil. If you were on the Mississippi Gulf Coast anytime in the last 48 days, you didn't see any oil at all. We've had a few tar balls, but we have tar balls every year as a natural product of the Gulf of Mexico. The biggest negative impact for us has been the news coverage. The worst thing for us has been how our tourist season has been hurt by the perception of what's going on down here. The Mississippi Gulf Coast is beautiful. As I tell people, the coast is clear. Come on down.
Well, is the coast clear down there, Senator?
He better watch it. He's tempting Providence because he'll change his tune when that wind starts coming from the south and sends it straight into his beaches and his wetlands. Let's hope it doesn't, and he's been blessed that the winds have kept it away, as it's kept it away from Florida for the most part. But now the winds are sending it eastward toward Florida. Eventually, with all that oil in the Gulf, the winds will take it south, and it'll get into the loop current, and it'll go down to the Keys and up the Gulf Stream on the East Coast. The whole thing is, let's get this thing stopped. And let's also, Andrea, know how much we're dealing with. Remember, it was first 1,000 barrels, then it was 5,000, then it was 12,000. Now it may be 25,000. You know, let's find out. Let's get the experts in there on an independent determination.
Senator Bill Nelson, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. I know how painful this is for you and all your constituents and every official who's trying to come to grips with something that is beyond enormous, beyond anything we've ever seen before. Thanks, Senator.
Thanks, Andrea.